Good morning. Today we're going to be doing a full day of eating, a long run, and maybe some speed drills. Who knows, we'll see. Anyways, let's get to it. Meal number one is going to be some oats, Greek yogurt, strawberries, blueberries, and a little bit of almond butter. I'm going to be honest, this is way less than I typically eat for breakfast. However, because I'm going on a longer run today, we're going to go ahead and try and get some of those carbs in first thing. And if you watched the David Goggins video, you know that I haven't been great about fueling before runs, which has been an issue. However, this is still a great breakfast and I'm pretty excited to eat it. But before we do, let's go ahead and look at those calories and macros. For this meal, we are looking at 521 total calories, 29 grams of protein, 63 grams of carbs, and 22 grams of fat. This meal's got enough carbs for me to get through the run and fuel my workout. I'm gonna go ahead and eat it and then probably wait about 1 hour before I actually go out and run. That way I have some time to digest it and I'm not getting too sluggish on the run. Also, I keep saying it's a longer day, but I haven't mentioned that I'm going to run about 5 miles today. Nothing crazy. It'll be a nice conversational pace, and I'll make sure to film each mile as I go through, similar to how I did the Goggins video. Anyways, let's go ahead and get the first bite. We'll test taste on camera. 9 out of 10 oats recipe. This hits. I'm gonna eat this, but I'll see you all in just a minute. All right, it is now 6:30 and I am getting ready for my run. But before we do, let's go ahead and go over a couple of the things that I like to have on me whenever I'm going on these longer runs. The first one is a nice little bag, so that way I can carry my phone, and a collapsible water bottle. These are the Hydro Flask, and they're pretty inexpensive on Amazon. If you're interested in looking at these, I'll leave a link below. I'm not going on a crazy long run, but it is nice to have water with you, and that is a part of your fueling. So making sure that we're fueling properly is important. That way we can have a good run. We're not stopping to use the bathroom or anything like that. Also, you may notice that nowadays I rock headbands whenever I run. The reason for that is because most hats don't absorb sweat very well, and even if you do have a hat that does absorb sweat, it can't have one of those straps to tighten around your head, at least in my experience, because if you turn the hat backwards for any reason, the sweat just ends up running down your forehead regardless. So the headband has been clutch. In the winter, we'll go ahead and switch over to a beanie. As for our shoes, we're looking at the New Balance Rebel V4s. These are also a relatively inexpensive pair of shoes, and you can use them as daily trainers, at least from the research that I've done. I am still relatively new to running, so you don't have to take my advice on this by any means, but these are just things that I like to implement whenever I'm going on runs. That's enough yapping. I'm gonna go ahead and get my run going. It's a little bit chillier out today. We're looking at about 48 degrees. Let's get to it. All right, 5 miles in the books. Not gonna lie, could have gone a little quicker, but I had to pee at like 4.88 miles, to the point where if I didn't go, I think I would have actually pissed my pants. Anyways, overall times weren't bad. The effort was there, but I would say it was more moderate than easy. Definitely not difficult though. After looking at my program again, it looked like I was supposed to be running like a 9 to 10 minute mile roughly, which is why I ended up stepping up the intensity a little bit more instead of just doing zone 2. Typically whenever I end up doing zone 2 cardio, I'm sitting at like a 12-minute mile. However, the majority of the run I felt like I had a good conversational pace going where I could talk. There was definitely times where I was running faster than others, but that was kind of just like a one-off thing. Anyways, that was it for today's run. Let's go ahead and get into meal number 2. Meal number 2 coming at you. As you can see, we have a nice little beef bowl with some rice, a couple of Baby Bell cheeses, some avocado, and a kiwi on the side. You all know that I love my kiwi, and I make sure to get at least one in every single day. Meals like this are super easy to prepare, and I kind of lean on them for post-workouts. Also, we didn't have eggs today, so I didn't end up having eggs, and that kind of played a part in how I decided to go about my diet today. For our calories and macros on this meal, we have 602 calories, 38 grams of protein, 52 grams of carbs, and 30 grams of fat. A couple of things to note here. Typically, this is not a meal that I would eat at 8 o'clock in the morning, just being honest. But I've been up since 4, so I guess there's kind of some push there. Either way, I wouldn't typically eat this if I'm being honest, this early in the morning. Number 2, everything on my plate actually does have a purpose, believe it or not. Kiwis have a lot of fiber. When it comes to the carbs, I like to use rice because I feel like they do a good job of restoring glycogen, and of course, it tastes good. Ground beef doesn't just provide protein, it also provides a lot of B vitamins. Cheese provides calcium, and I love cheese. And of course, the avocado, which is full of healthy fats. Now, it doesn't hurt that putting them all together tastes great. However, I do kind of have a loose plan when it comes to what I'm eating to ensure that I'm getting my micronutrients and I'm consuming all of the vitamins and minerals that I need throughout the day. So that's why this meal looks the way that it does. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead, eat this, and then chill for a little bit, let it digest, and I'm gonna go to the park to do some speed work. See you all in just a minute. Okay, we made it to the park. Looks like there's some soccer games going on, but one of these fields definitely isn't being used, so we're gonna go ahead, do some warm-ups, just gonna be butt kicks and high knees, and then run up this hill over here, and the goal is to hit it 10 times. Alright, warm-up is done, felt pretty good. Feeling a little bit tight, probably from the run earlier, but feel okay. We're gonna go ahead and run up this hill, I'll show you here in a second. And the goal is to do that 10 times with like 30 seconds of rest in between. Towards the back end, I might give myself a little grace, but we'll see. Ten hill sprints in 10 minutes. Really brought the bitch out of me. And if I'm being honest, like, I'm not disappointed in that. On the 10th sprint, I waited a minute, but every other sprint I did 30 seconds for rest. So it was pretty continuous. Not fast. I'm still slow. But it was continuous, so that felt good, man. Alright, let's get out of here. Now that my speed drills today are done, we've got meal number 3, which is some PB Fit, some strawberries and brown sugar whipped cream, and these little drizzleicious rice cake things. If I'm being honest, usually I save meals like this for last in the day, but I decided to kind of just go for it right now. I'm gonna probably shower after this and start working on some Turos Fitness stuff, so I figured this would be a nice little treat before I get into all of that. Also, shameless plug for Turos Fitness. Click the link down below if you're interested in accountability coaching or any kind of workout program. We're working on getting those out, and the website is live, so be sure to check that out as well. For our calories and macros on this meal, we are looking at 447 total calories, 18 coming from protein, 68 coming from carbs, and about 14 from fat. Again, I don't typically eat things like this early on in the day, however, I decided to treat myself. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead, finish this up, but I'll see you all here in just a second. Meal number 4 is up, and what we've got here is some sweet potato, chicken, spinach, and mushrooms. If you watch my full days of eating, my little shorts, you know that I typically meal prep this meal. It's genuinely one of my favorite meals, and I like to have it even on weekends. I could eat it pretty much all of the time. If you're interested in the splits from a meal prepping perspective, click on the video in the corner. However, as far as this meal goes, it is slightly different. We're looking at 250 grams of sweet potato, about 50 grams of spinach, 4 ounces of chicken, and a little bit of mushrooms. I believe it's about 38 grams, and I pretty much just used what we had left. For this meal, we are looking at 337 calories, about 35 grams of protein, 57 grams of carbs, and 2 grams of fat. While it is pretty low in fats, I will say that the spinach, mushrooms, and sweet potato add a ton to your recommended daily intake of minerals and vitamins. So this meal isn't just tasty, but it also covers a lot of your bases, especially whenever you're looking at things like potassium, iron, and other minerals and vitamins that you typically end up falling short on. It's pretty much wrapped up into this meal, making it one of my favorite, more versatile meals. And fortunately, it's very low calorie, so it works for pretty much anyone. Anyways, that's gonna be it for meal 4, but I'll see you all in just a second. For dinner, we have a burger combination here. You can see I use lettuce. This wasn't to like cut calories or anything, it was just kind of because I forgot to unthaw the buns. Anyways, what we have here is 3 patties, 2 slices of provolone cheese, some pickles, as well as some tomato onion, homemade In-N-Out sauce, and some homemade fries. This is by far the heaviest meal that I have today at 839 calories, 46 coming from protein, 51 coming from carbs, and 53 grams of fat. Typically, I would end up having one meal after this, but because I had the rice cakes earlier, and today's been a little bit chaotic, just kind of sitting at my desk and working on things, this will probably be the last meal of the day. I already filmed an outro because I thought I was done eating, but I forgot it was a longer day. A 2 a day with a long run. So I'm gonna go ahead and eat these 3 muffins that Hannah made earlier this week, as well as a honey stick. I like to drizzle the honey on top of the muffin. Since the honey's only like 15 calories, I'm not gonna include that because that's kind of stupid. As a result, our calories and macros for this meal will be 186 calories to about 17 grams of protein, 18 grams of carbs, and 7 grams of fat. That puts our total calories at 2970 for the day, 185 grams of protein, 307 grams of carbs, and about 128 grams of fat. If you follow me, you probably know that I don't really eat that many fats, so this is definitely a higher fat day than I'm used to. However, I'm okay with it. I had the extra calories to kill today, so we're gonna run with it. If you enjoyed today's content, please be sure to comment, like, subscribe, all of that good stuff. It would be much appreciated. However, don't stop here. There's a video right here that YouTube recommended just for you. That's all for today, and until next time, keep it together.